Bickley Blast.
Nobody will say so publicly, but Tuesday was a seismic day in the Valley. It likely marked the end of one of the most polarizing athletes we've ever seen in the Valley. And from DeAndre Ayton to Justin Upton, from Brittany Griner to Kyler Murray, it confirmed that we have had a very strange history with former number one overall picks. Only Diana Taurasi truly lived up to that level of expected greatness. Now, granted, there remains a lot of mystery around Murray. Was his injury misdiagnosed? How could he go from an impending return to an injury that might last 8 weeks? Has he been benched? Are the Cardinals going to put him in bubble wrap so they can trade him in the offseason? Or, as Bruce Arians suggested yesterday, is he back in the lineup the moment Brissett struggles because Michael Bidwill is paying him too much money to just sit there on the bench? Personally, I believe Murray needs a fresh start elsewhere, and so do the Cardinals. But my hope, truly, is that Murray takes this as a challenge and doesn't pout, that he treats it as a competition, that it forces him to be better across the board. After all, everybody loves a comeback story, even if Murray has been here for years. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
The pieces just fit a little more accurately. Jacoby Brissett has been a good part of the run game himself, and working under center gives them more options in the run game. They're 12th in success rate on offense since he took over, which is how often you're staying on schedule. And maybe they haven't been quite as spectacular at times, but they're moving the ball consistently, and Jacoby Brissett has the best interception rate of any quarterback in the history of football during his career. So they're going to protect the football. They're going to run it a little more effectively. And we saw that defense. They held a good Cowboys offense to one touchdown. They can protect the football, play good defense. They got a shot at maybe getting back into the swing of things here in the NFC West.
That is Bill Barnwell on the fit of Jacoby Brissett. I like the way you phrased that in the it basically smacked of LL Cool J. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
I'm glad you caught that. I'm trying. It was a really ham-handed reference.
You know what else, Bick?
Yeah.
Mama said knock you out.
And that's kind of what Jacoby Brissett did, right? So listen, I do think that the Jacoby Brissett thing, you could hear almost the ebullience, the joy, maybe the relief in Jonathan Gannon's voice yesterday in Burns and Gamble. I'm sure he's tickled that this is no longer going to be a weekly or a daily thing, because his handling of it has only added to the weirdness, right? The press the grunts, the sounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. With what they did yesterday, it doesn't become a daily thing. But as this hangs above us right now, it's still a weekly thing.
It's a weekly thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely is. But at least this is certainly going to unplug the noise. The big thing for the Cardinals now, I don't think Jacoby Brissett is going to hit a wall. I think he's really good at what he does. Will he make more mistakes than he has? Probably. Will he have a game? Yes. To me, for the Cardinals, if they're really going to take this moment and get back into the race, it's going to be because of their defense. It's going to be because this defense goes from mid to top 10 to dangerous, to the kind of defense that can just shut you down, because that's what they did to Dallas. Now, the numbers don't necessarily say that, and Dallas being Dallas, they did a lot of dumb things and kicked themselves, and you know what I mean. They turned the ball over, committed a lot of penalties. There were a couple of times in the second half where they were in plus territory. So, but the bottom line is the Cardinals defense gave up 10 points to a team that many people thought could not be stopped.
That might be the bigger story. That might be getting obscured by, it actually is getting obscured by all of this.
Yep.
Is what the defense was able to do, and the defense now with renewed health, with Garrett Williams back, with Will Johnson back and healthy and contributing, with Walter Nolan coming back, Darius Robinson working his way back. Josh Sweat looking unblockable at times during the Dallas game. That might be the bigger story, but let's focus on the juicier story right now. You said something. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to hit a wall.
I don't.
I just want to warn, and I'm on board with this move. The right announcement was made yesterday.
Yep.
To nip it in the bud, even if this is a temporary thing. Like I said, I still think this is a week-to-week thing. But we're also very far. Jacoby Brissett came into the league in 2016. He's had opportunities to start before. He's not wrestled those opportunities to a consistent degree. The last time he was a full-time starter, really in this league for a decent football team was the 2019 Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
He started 15 games that year. The Colts under head coach Frank Reich were 6-4 through week 11. They went 1-5 down the stretch.
I remember that.
And they folded right out of the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive numbers started to bog down a little bit. Look, I'm rooting for Jacoby Brissett. I think he's been a great story. I think he's done a really, really competent job being and past competent. Competent is the low end of the spectrum of what he's done. He's unlocked some things in this passing game, but I wouldn't be shocked if he hits a wall because history tells you he's going to hit a wall.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but
it's not apples to apples. I know there's different things involved.
Yeah.
But look, we've been saying Kyler Murray is who he is for 7 years. And we all feel comfortable saying that, but we don't feel comfortable saying it about Jacoby Brissett.
No, but it's not that. It's that it's not like Jacoby Brissett's been doing anything sensational. He's been reading the field and getting the ball to the open guy, and he's been staying in the pocket and absorbing hits and getting right back up. So it's not like he's been stacking these unbelievable performances. He's just operating it like a professional. So, look, you can frame it. You can frame him any way you want. But there are a lot of good football people who think that Jacoby Brissett is more than just your standard journeyman quarterback.
Yep.
When do you think we'll next hear from Kyler? Because we have not heard anything from him. Exactly 1 month ago today was the last time, October 5th. I would love to have heard from him at all during this last month on exactly what's going on.
Well, the policy is injured players don't talk.
Yep.
I mean, there's still outlets for him to talk, social media being one of them. I don't know if it'll be verbal. It might be cryptic.
Yeah, I don't think it would do him any good right now.
It wouldn't, but I'm reading Darren Urban's piece on azcardinals.com and Gannon's quote from Burns and Gambo, or maybe it was from the press conference. Kyler wants to be out there. He's a competitor. I talked to him today. He's a good teammate, and he wants to get healthy.
Okay.
But there's been so much focus on Brissett. And there's been so much focus on the weirdness of how this whole thing has transpired. Let's be honest about it.
Right. Right down to the fact that he might have a role on Monday. There's a lot of people that still can't understand in what world was that a possibility.
Yep. And look, Bruce Arians, he said it on McAfee yesterday before the announcement came out. He believes Kyler Murray will be back out there when he's healthy because of the financial situation. Dan Orlovsky from ESPN on NFL Live said, no going back at this point.
If and when this organization determines that Jacoby's the guy for the remainder of the season, I think that Jacoby Brissett should be the starter for the remainder of the year. If and when they do, there's no turning back. That would mean the end of Kyler Murray's career as an Arizona Cardinal. So it's easy for us to sit here and say it. I would name Jacoby my long-term starter this year, but you then can never go back to Kyler Murray as your guy.
And when I heard that, Bick, the quarterback situation that came to mind, and yes, these two quarterbacks are in much different places in their career, but both number one picks. Go back to last year, early in the season, when the Carolina Panthers pulled the plug on the Bryce Young experiment, and they handed the reins to Andy Dalton, another trusted veteran backup quarterback who'd been around the league, bounced around, very trusted. What happened? He hurt his thumb, got in a car accident, hurt his thumb.
Yep.
They had to go back to Bryce Young, who has now solidified his spot as the Carolina Panthers quarterback. Again, there's some similarities. There's a lot of differences in those situations. I fully expect to see Kyler Murray play quarterback again for the Cardinals.
Again, I don't know if I agree with that, but we can agree to look at this thing differently.
Yeah. But, well, there's so much cloudiness.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a clear view individually. So I think there's a lot of different opinions on this.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.